It is very common for somebody or something to be classified as right-wing or left-wing. This is referring to their location on the political spectrum. Originally a continuum, basically an endless line, where conservative capitalism is on the right side of the center, and socialist liberalism, which is probably not the best term, see classic liberalism, is on the left side of the center. It should be noted that the terms left and right have varied meanings and degrees of magnitude in different countries. These terms first evolved during the French Revolution. Long live Napoleon. David Nolan was the first to propose a multi-axis variant of the political spectrum, including many more classifications than simply just left or right. Many popular online political quizzes also use a multi-axis variant, such as politicalcompass.org, which uses the traditional right and left classification, as well as using the y-axis to distinguish between libertarian and authoritarian viewpoints, as shown here. However, many political scientists take issue with this system's simplicity. Many proposed placements have been suggested by various philosophers and other political scientists. However, none of them have gained enough traction to become a de facto accepted model. One such model, often seen floating about internet forums, I'm looking at you, Reddit, is the Horseshoe theory. The first recorded of this term was by French philosopher and writer Jean-Pierre Faye. Probably botched that name anyway. Basically, the premise is that people who are moderate on one side or the other are more different than extremists at either side. Restated, this means both right-wing and left-wing extremists share some similar tactics and views. Here's a good visual illustration of this idea. This idea is somewhat related to Blair's Law, an informal adage that also describes this phenomena, named after Australian journalist Tim Blair. Now that this seems completely reasonable, I will now describe why it isn't. Of course, many of the aforementioned extremists belligerently oppose this association with each other, but their natural opposition does not form a strong counter-argument. However, there is some strong objective criticism of the horseshoe theory. One such example is the argument that this theory can lead to a false balance, sometimes referred to as a balance fallacy. Essentially, this means holding two viewpoints on an issue as being equally valid, even when there is strong evidence that is not the case. Other counter-arguments include the previously mentioned difference in different countries of what right and left wing means, and the argument to moderation fallacy, which is close related but not exactly the same as the balance fallacy mentioned earlier. Finally, I would like to end by discussing another semi-famous internet adage, Poe's Law. It states that it is impossible to distinguish between individuals holding extremist views on topics and those parroting them. More information on this and other stuff in the video can be found, as always, in the description.